Welcome to the Life of Styn. I'm your host, Dustyn Rich, and I'm excited to be back again for another episode of personal development or consciousness work or whatever you want to call it, just to help you make your life the best that we can. Before we get started, I just want to say a few things. There are so many topics I really want to dive into, but obviously I can only do one at a time. So, for a little spoiler into what I want to be doing in the near future, and also, if you have any requests, go ahead and put them down in the comments, and I can bring them to the top of the list, honestly. Um, but in the near future, I want to do like passion and life purpose, direct experience, the present moment, perspective, addiction, patience, control of thoughts and emotions, not taking life so seriously, and of course, so much more. Like we already went over how reality is consciousness. Everything you directly experience is mental, and you can experience that for yourself pretty easily. You don't experience anything outside of consciousness, and by that simple observation, we know that everything is consciousness. Now, of course, that can go so much deeper, but for now, we'll just keep that in mind. Okay. Now, enough intro. Nobody likes when the guy shooting the video takes forever to get into the actual topic, even though that's what I'm doing right now. Now, motivation versus discipline. To start, do you know or are you someone with a black belt in martial arts? Now, where you find a new hobby or interest, and you dive into it fully, and then you get bored or unmotivated and then just drop it. And so you don't really accomplish anything, and everything is pretty much half assed or incomplete, because I do. And for a long time, I was that person. Now, let me answer all the questions as to why this happens. Simple. You let motivation control what you do, and you lack discipline to commit to anything. I posted a picture on my Facebook that depicts this perfectly, and I'll show it to you guys now, and then I'll explain it to anybody listening to the audio version. Okay, so let me get that to focus. It says how people think motivation works, and motivation goes, "Oh, come on, keep going, you can do it," and you go, "Yep, that's right, I'll do it." But how it actually works is motivation's very small, and it turns on discipline, and discipline picks you up and says you will do it, while motivation rides on top. All right, so I mean that's pretty powerful within itself if you can just kind of think of the implications of that. So now this is why it's essential to find out what we really want from life and why. So we don't waste time thinking things are our new passion and purpose in life just because we feel strong motivation to do things. Motivation is small and it dies quick, and then we give up on it. But once you discipline yourself to do the things you actually want to do in your life, then you'll develop motivation. It'll come naturally. But you can't rely on motivation to give you the end all. Let me give you a very personal example because I know all about it. Like, I used to jump from one thing to another. Like, I used to play guitar and I really wanted to do that. Screaming in a band, or being a car guy and wanting to do YouTube as a car guy, or I wanted to be a streamer and do YouTube. I wanted to be, gaming and all that other stuff. I wanted to help others with personal development, and et cetera, et cetera. And every single one of those things, I dived in full force thinking it's really what I wanted to do. But alas, it wasn't. They were just hobbies. And most of the reasons I pursued them were because I just thought I could make good money off of them, not because I was actually genuinely passionate about what I was doing. I was doing things for shallow reasons, and it won't take you far if you're doing them for shallow reasons. Even now, I found that what I truly want to do aligns with my values and what I want my purpose in the world to be, whether it makes money or not. Okay, you can see in my catalog of videos that I've done many starts and stops just in the life of Styn or the White Rabbit, and only recently have I actually committed to doing this weekly. I think this is 6 weeks in a row or something. But how, even if this is something I truly want to do, motivation doesn't get my ass up and do the video. I have to type out my manuscript so I cover all the points I want, at least until I can start to naturally, without trailing off too erratically, so I can hit all the points I want to, even though this is what I want to do. Like, this is what I want to do with my life. And there are still days where I don't want to do it. I don't feel like I'm enough, or I feel like plenty of other people are releasing the same content and higher quality. Regardless of all of that, I have something to offer. And I might be able to provide a perspective that no one else can for you and for myself. So, you know what? I force myself to do it all because it's what brings me genuine joy. Like, I'm already fulfilled. I don't do this out of lack or thinking it's going to get me a paycheck, okay? Whether it's lack or self-worth or money, if I did it out of these things, think of how low quality my stuff would be when I put it out. I wouldn't feel good about it at all. And I want to put out good quality content. I want to be done with this video and be like, yes, that's a high quality video. Maybe, obviously, I'm human and I'm not perfect. And there's plenty of things that I could have missed, or maybe I'll cover in different videos, because this is all interconnected. So if I miss something here, guess what? In a video that you think was completely unrelated, maybe it'll connect the dots for you. Every single one of these videos is like a puzzle piece, and you can start to see how they all align, even if you don't think they're practical or relative to you. Now, like this episode, motivation versus discipline, this is very practical just for anybody who's developing in life. Now, uh, done being going off in the tangent, how can you develop discipline? Well, some of us don't have the luxury to not have discipline because lives are at stake, or because you have to pay the bills and take care of the kids. You don't get a choice, and you're forced to be disciplined or fall. Some of us have no one to rely on to get shit done or to cover the bills. We either survive or we die. In a way, obviously, society plays that up. That's not saying anyone is better than anyone else, okay? And never play the, oh, I have it so much harder card. That's bullshit, okay? You can't compare people's pain because only they can carry it. And we all know what pain and joy feels like. Use that to unite us, not to separate us. Sorry about the rant. I just feel it needed to be said in this moment. But regardless of your life situation, how can I develop discipline? Simple. You need to start small. But do stuff you don't want to do. Force yourself one step at a time. Small tasks at first, and just do it. Like taking out the trash, cleaning out your closet, cleaning your room, doing, simple tasks. Start small and work your way up bigger and bigger, etc., etc., but make sure when you take on new practices or theories or all this that it's sustainable. A lot of times we try to make big changes in our lives all at once, and then we crash and burn. Like, I used to do drugs, I used to smoke cigarettes, drink alcohol, full 9 yards. And when I would try to quit all at the same time, I'd just crash and burn. And then I'd probably be worse than before, and I'd do more than before. Okay. But doing one at a time, I've managed to quit all of them and make it sustainable. Okay. When I've tried to clean up my diet, workout, and on top of that, discipline myself to do these videos that I'm doing right now, I crashed and burned. Okay. Now, when I did one aspect at a time and integrated it into my routine, it became second nature. Okay. When you brush your teeth every day, it's easy and comes naturally. But when you just start to integrate something, it's a lot harder. But once you completely integrate it into your routine, it becomes second nature. Now, like where I'm at now, I'm sober. I work 5 days a week as a blue collar worker, so I work a lot. I work out 4 to 6 times a week. I hang out with my friends on the weekend. I have a healthy relationship with my girlfriend. I game and relax throughout the week and weekend. I shower regularly. I eat decently. And on top of that, I find all the time to do these videos consistently. It is insane to think about doing all of that and being truly happy with myself and life unconditionally. But that is just the results of my effort. Okay. I used to be the complete opposite of that. I used to frame, and at first I was flaky. I was always sick. I always had an excuse. I had no discipline. I hated myself and my life, and everything reflected that. I had no self care. I would barely even shower or brush my hair after working in 120-degree weather all day. I used drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, and video games and all this just to escape life. Like, I was so engrossed in a victim mindset. And I was suffering so bad, and I wanted to die. So I get it. I've been at the bottom of the bottom, and it only gets deeper. But eventually you get tired of suffering. You get tired of being a piece of shit, and so you start to hop onto the spiral of going up, slowly but surely. And you can go from the bottom to having the life you truly want, okay? Take it from me, who's gone from the bottom to the top. And it doesn't even matter what accomplishments or possessions I've acquired. Does it really matter what the circumstances of your life are if you're truly joyful and at peace with all of life itself? No, it doesn't. So we don't need to chase pleasure or possessions or the next high. Why do we do these things? Because it brings us liberation. But the thing is liberation without wisdom is suffering. Now, we long for peace and joy. All of us do. You can't deny that. But we search for it in the wrong ways. Peace and joy can be experienced right now without anything or anyone present to do it. We can do it without any conditions or prerequisites. but we need to clear our mind of all the trash that we've been indoctrined with, and the parts of us that feel like us, but actually aren't. Figure out what you want in life, truly, and why you want it. And obviously, I'm going to do videos to help you find that. But if you do these things from a place of being fulfilled, then what you want is a healthy desire. Okay? Truly figure out what you want, why you want it. Do you want it because you lack it? If you do, it's not going to fulfill you. I can tell you that right now. And if you've been chasing things for your whole life, for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, however old you are, if you've been chasing those things and you're still not happy, obviously it's not working and something else has to give, you know? So when you do things from a place of fulfillment, then what you get is more fulfillment. I'm fulfilled already, okay? I do this work simply because I want to, because I do, and that's all. Not because I'm going to get anything out of it, not because it's my calling in life. It's just because I do. Once you discover something like that, follow your heart, follow your intuition, and never give up. Okay? What you put in it is what you're going to get out of it. And you have to start somewhere. Just like I have to start with no subscribers, no viewers, barely ever, even friends and family will watch this. Like, and even then, I'm going to push for it. And in the future, when I get 1 million subscribers and I'm doing this full time, I'll remember where I started and that I had to be here to get there. Okay? Do what you feel is right in your heart, not in your self-centered ego that only cares about itself and those that benefit it. Follow your heart and you'll never be led astray. So develop that discipline, make the changes you want to make, be the person you want to be. Mic drop. I'm done here. Hit all the buttons, share with a friend, reach out. You are enough, and have the day you were meant to have.